And welcome back to the Crochet Cruisers, my friends at yourinspirations.com. I'm your host, Mikey. Today's video is separated into two squares that are the exact same square. The first half of this tutorial will be the square as if you're changing color. The second half will be the square if it's solid. You have to treat it separately because of where the slip stitching is. Also, for Crochet Cruisers, you only need to make 12 of these things, and then you'll just block them and then bring them to the cruise ship. This video then will, at the end, we'll talk about joining it with an invisible join, and we'll be handling that on the ship, but for you at the public, you can do that at any time. And then there will be a second part of this video on doing the border, and that's coming up today. See the video description for the chapters so you can skip ahead to whatever version that you prefer. With color A, we want to start and we're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and insert your hook into the beginning chain and yarn over, pull through, and that forms the center ring of your afghan. So you just want to lay the straggler around the outside of that ring, and we're now going to go on to round number 1. Round number 1, we're going to chain 2. This will not count as a stitch. This is just a builder so that you don't end up with the gap between the stitches that normally happens when you slip stitch at the end of a round. So now what we have to do is place 12 double crochets into the center of the ring. So let's count these out together. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Once you believe that you have 12 count, make sure that chain 2 does not count. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Slip stitch it to the top of the first double crochet. If you are changing color, this is when you're going to do it. You're going to just fasten this off and then just get ready, and you're going to use color B to begin. So whenever you attach a new color, right where we're starting on this round or any round is where you're going to begin that journey. So in my case, you would just attach B and then chain 2. In my case, I'm just going to chain 2 because it's already attached. In the same one that we want to do, we want to provide a popcorn, and the popcorn consists of 3 double crochet. So we're going to put 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to release that, go to the first double crochet, ignore the chain 2, and go from the front to the back, put this on, and pull through. And now you're going to chain 1 to lock it. Okay, so that chain 1 is not the chain 1 that you're seeing on the pattern itself. It's the chain 1 to lock it. Then you're officially going to chain 1. In the next one here, we want to do another popcorn, and we're going to do this all the way around. So there's 3 double crochets that make the popcorn. Release, through, pull through, chain 1 locks, and then chain 1 moves on. And you're going to do that with each one. You will see a total of 12 of these, and I'm going to meet you at the end of this round in just a few minutes, or a few moments. So please just put me on pause and do the remaining of the round. I'm at the end of the second round. You're going to keep the same color if you're following the color sequence. I've done my last popcorn. I chained 1 to lock, and I've also chained 1, and I want to attach this to the first popcorn to finish the round. Okay, so we're just going to slip stitch it, pull it nice and tight, and therefore that's the end of that. So let's move on to round number 3. Number 3, we're sitting on top of a popcorn. We're going to slip stitch to the next chain 1 space. So just slip stitch over, chain 1, and place 3 single crochets into that same space. So we have 1, 2, and 3. You're now going to jump to the next chain 1 space, and it's between the popcorns, and you're going to apply 3 single crochets there as well. And you're going to do that all the way around for round number 3, and please do that, and I'll see you at the end of the round. When you come back around to the end, you're going to have your 3 single crochets in the last space here. This is the beginning space, this is the first single, just slip stitch to the first single. Okay, and you're gonna keep this color even if you're doing the color changing. The color that we're playing with stays again for round number 4. Let's move on. So round number 4, we're sitting in the wrong stitch. We need to be sitting in the middle stitch of each of and that's where we're gonna play with in each of these 3 single crochets. So I need to slip stitch to the next stitch over, which is the middle single crochet. And you see how it's in the middle of the spacing? That's what I want. I want to start with a chain 5, which will be 1 double crochet and a chain 2. So 1, 2, 3, that's a double crochet. 4, 5 is a chain 2 space. And in the same one that you've done the join, or that you're coming out of, you're going to double crochet. Now you can skip 2 stitches here, and that takes you to the middle of the next grouping of 3. So what you have to do at that particular point is that before you do anything, chain 1 first to create some more space, go to the middle one, which is skipping 2, but it's the middle one, and do the V-stitch. And so it's going to be a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. And don't forget to chain 1 after it, and then jump to the next one. So skipping 2 and go to the middle and do your V-stitch. And you need to do this all the way around. And this will be the end of this color if you're following the color sequence. So you'll want to change that at the end of the round as well. So let's get to the end of number 4. Coming up to the end of number 4, I have my V-stitch in. Don't forget to chain 1 after. So you do that. And now you have to attach to the 3rd chain up. So you still maintain a chain 2 space, and you're just going to slip stitch. This would be where you end the color. So if you want to change your color, now's the time to do it. You should make a mental note though. You should be able to see 12 of these V-stitches, and there should be a chain 1 space between each. And that's something that you need to work through. So we're going to begin with the color C for the 5th round, and I'm just going to keep my color going, and we're going to continue going from this point. Number 5, you're going to start off in a chain 2 space, and it's in the center of a V-stitch. In my case, I'm just going to slip stitch over. Okay, I'm going to use the same color. So to begin this, we are just going to chain 1, and we're going to do what is called as a petal. So in the petal, each one of these V-stitches is going to have the same thing. So you're going to start off with a single crochet first, then we're going to have 4 double crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then before you're done, put another single crochet in here. You'll notice a red line is being pointed as this because we're going to jump to the next V-stitch, and just for demonstrations on the diagram you'll see that. So come to your next V-stitch and start again. So we have a single, we have 4 doubles, so we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then a single in. So please do that in each of the V-stitches going all the way around, and I'll be right back in a moment. So I've come all the way around, I finished with a single crochet, and I want to just slip stitch it to the first single crochet on the beginning. Make sure you still only have 12. You'll notice that it's kind of buckling a little bit. Don't worry about it, it will flatten out. Let's begin then the next round, number 6. Let's begin number 6. We have to get ourselves to the 2 middle double crochets that are in a petal. So we're currently sitting in the wrong spot. So we need to slip stitch ourselves over in order to do that. So we're going to move on over. Okay. And get ourselves to the 2nd double crochet. So there will be 2 double crochets, which is the middle. You're going to chain 1, and you're going to single crochet in that one, plus single in the next double. So you're only focusing on the tips of the petals. You're now going to chain 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're a technical counter, you were going to skip 4 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you'll go to the 5th, but essentially what it says in the pattern is that you're skipping a double crochet 2 single crochets and then a double crochet. So that's just something that you can continue to keep in your mind. But if you just concentrate on the 2 middle double crochets, and then you'd be good to go as well. So that's kind of easier to look for those. So you'll put 2 singles, 1 into each one of those. So chain 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Look for the 2 middle that you can see. And if you need to count your stitches in order to get there, then do so. And then just put 1 single in each of those 2. So please do this all the way around for round number 6. At the end of the 6th round, you are just going to chain 4 and then just attach it to the first single crochet that you started with. Again, you're going to see that it's kind of buckling up a bit. Again, don't worry about it. It will work itself out. Let's begin. We're continuing with the same color and moving on to round number 7. Let's begin the 7th round. There's 2 singles on the tops of each of these petals. You don't really need to worry about that so much. What you're going to do is just chain 1, and you were looking for this space right here. Okay, so just ignore where these guys joined, look for this. And you're going to do a 2 together treble over this, and then the same one over on this side. So you're just going to wrap the hook twice and just come into that space only. And you're going to pull through 2 and 2 and hold. Then you're going to look for the next space right here. So wrap the hook twice and come in here. Pull through 2 and 2 and hold. You should see a total of 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3, and those just wrapped over top of each other. The next chain space here, you were going to apply 7 single crochets in there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now how we did this, we're going to do it again. So a 2 together over this space here. This one's already in it, but we're going to put another one, and then we're going to reach over and do the next one on this side. So yarn over twice and come in to the same spot where the other one already is. Pull through 2 and 2, and then do the next one right here. So wrap twice and pull through 2 and 2, and then pull through all 3. So it's creating a beautiful texture work, and then 7 single crochets here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there's a lot there, and these 7 single crochets, because there's a lot there, it's going to cause it to expand. So once you get that done, you're going to do a 2 together treble, again over the same spacing, and then you'll have this beautiful line work all the way around. Please do this for round number 7. I'm coming all the way back around. I am doing a 2 together treble, and remember how we kind of went back, how we started, so we're just gonna fill in this one, and so that makes it all complete. Okay, so it's sharing the same one as the first one started, and then don't forget the 7 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, you are going to want to join it to the beginning treble, the 2 together treble, and even if you're using the same color like I am, you need to fasten off because we need to start at a different spot. Okay, so I'm going to do that, so I'm going to fasten off. You're going to want to weave in the tail later, and when we go to start the next one with the color D, we want to start with a single, like in the middle of this one big section here. So any one of them will do. So just weave in your ends, and let's begin number 8 with the color D. So we're going to start off in any of these single crochets. We need to start on the 4th one. So just count it. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the 4th one is the middle one of the group of 7. So you're going to join and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and put 2 more double crochet into that same one that you did the join. Okay, I'm going to toss that in the back. The next 2 are going to be a double crochet each. So 1 and 2. And then you are going to come down and you are going to make then a front post single crochet. And what you want to do is go around the both of these. Okay, so you're going to grab around both. So just come in, go around the front post of that, pull through, and pull through 2. And that kind of loops everything together. So you're going to skip the first single crochet that exists in here, and you're going to start with the next 2 and put a double crochet in each. So we have 1 and 2. The third one is the middle one, and that's going to be 3 double crochets. So we have 1, 2, and 3. The next 2 are double crochet each. So you're technically skipping the last one here on this side. You're going to come around and do the front post single crochet around these. And then you're going to skip the first one of the single and then start in the second one and put your 2 in a row, 3 into the next, 2 in a row, and then come on down. And you'll see that it will really do a nice pedaling effect like that. Please do this around for number 8. I'm coming all the way around to number 8. I'm just finishing off here with the front post single crochet, and then I still have the 2 before the section I started. Okay, so the section was the 3 double crochet. So just slip stitch to the top here. And what we need to do is, if you're going to keep the same color, just slip stitch 1 over. But if you are going to go in and start a new color, you're going to want to start in the middle double crochet of a group of the 3. So let's begin round number 9. Okay, let's begin. We are going to chain 6, which will count as a treble and a chain 2 space. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a treble, and 5 and 6 is a chain 2 space. And coming into the same one you're coming out of, just put your finger on here to prevent it from unraveling, and just make this as a treble. So there's the corner. So now chain 3 is going to be a consistent thing until we get to the next corner. So chain 3, come to the next front post single here and make this as a back post double crochet. Chain 3, come to the middle one of the grouping of 3 and make this as a back post single crochet. Chain 3, come to this one right here. This is going to be a back post single crochet. This is halfway through a side. Chain 3, come to the next grouping of 3, and it's the middle one. Make this as a back post single. Chain 3, come to this one here. This is a back post double. Chain 3, and now the next one is your corner space. So it's the middle one. Just use this as a regular stitch and make it a treble. Chain 2 and treble. I'll take you through one more side. So let's begin again, a new side. Chain 3 to start, and come in to this one right here and make it as a back post double crochet. Chain 3, come to the grouping of 3 right here and make this as a back post single crochet. Chain 3, come to this one right here, make this as a back post single crochet. This is the halfway through a side. Chain 3, come to the middle one of the grouping of 3, make this as a back post single. Chain 3, okay, right here, make this as a back post double. Chain 3, and now your corner is the next one, so it's the middle one of the grouping of 3, so it's a treble, chain 2, and treble. And I need you to complete the other 2 sides exactly the same way. So this is allowing that flower to pop out, so that the framework that is going to convert to the square in the next round in the next round, it's going to be a lot easier to be able to manage. Please do this for the remaining of the round. So I'm coming all the way to the end. I just have to chain my 3, and I'm going to join it to the 4th chain up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 to maintain a chain 2 space, and this will be the end of this. Okay, so you can see it's now technically squared off, and we're now moving on to the 10th round next. To get to the square, I tried to make it as simple as possible, and hopefully I was successful. So I want to chain 2 and get to the next space right here, and I want to slip stitch, and this is where I'm going to start. So I'm going to chain 3, which will be your first double crochet, and then a double crochet back into the same corner. Chain 2, and then put 2 more double crochet into the same spot. This is the chain 2 of the trebles. Now we have to get ourselves to be taller to shorter, and the easiest way to do this is that the next space that you see right here, place in 3 double crochet. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Jump immediately to the next space and put in 3 half double crochet. So we have 1, 2, and 3. The 2 middle spaces of a side is each going to have 3 single crochet. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Jump to the next one, 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to get bigger before we get to the corner. So we have 2 spaces left. So the next space has to be a half double crochet for 3 times. And the last space here before the corner is going to be 3 double crochets. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And then you have your corner. So the corners will be the same, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So you're going to repeat this around till you get to the other side, or to all the way around. So remember, it's going to be a double, half, and then there'll be 2 singles, half, and a double, and then your corner again. So there's just 3 stitches of each inside. And let's do that, and I'll see you at the end of the round. This is number 10. So coming up around number 10, just filling in the last spot, we've already got the corner done. So you're just going to slip stitch to the top of the first, chain 3, and that'll complete this, and we got more square. And the next round, number 11, we're going to get even more square from this point. Let's begin number 11. If you want to start a new color, you just have to start it in the corner of the chain 2. And if you just want to keep the same color, you just slip stitch yourself to get to the corner. You decide how you want to do that. Now, this is really easy. You're just going to chain 3. That counts as your first double, and then double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. So the corners on this particular round will be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And a nice easy round is just 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way to the other side. Do your corners, and maybe at the end of the round in a moment. Coming up to the end of the final, and I'm just making sure I'm getting all my stitches in, and then I'm just going to slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3. Okay, so we're not quite in the corner, so just I keep an eye on that, and that's something that you can decide if you want to change your color or not. If you don't want to change the color, just slip stitch to the chain 2, and if you want to change the color, just get yourself to the chain 2 and begin there. Let's begin the final round for today, and it's number 12. Number 12, I'm not going to change the color, but if you were, you just go to any chain 2 space. It's with the color A, and it says to chain 1. And we're going to do an extended single crochet, and we're going to do this because we're going to be using back post double crochet. So to do that, you're just going to go into the corner, pull through just 1 loop, and then pull through 2. And do that again. So in, pull through 1 loop, and then pull through 2. Let's turn the corner, so chain 2, and do 2 more of those in there. So just shift it if you need to. So just in, pull through 1, and then pull through 2. So in, pull through 1, and then pull through 2. So the corners on this whole round will be 2 extended single crochets, chain 2, 2 extended single crochet. The remaining all the way across will be a back post double crochet, and this frames off the very center of your blanket. Okay, so please do this all the way around. This is round number 12, and I'll meet you back here in just a moment. So I'm coming all the way back around. I've done my back post double crochet around the last one here, and I'm just going to slip stitch it to the first extended single crochet. So you can technically get rid of this color if you want to change the color, because next week when we go to start this in rounds number 13 to 25, we're going to be starting with a fresh color, and you're going to notice that this square is actually really great. It's sitting flat, it's wonderful, and it's ready to go. So I'll see you next time right here on the study of determination. We'll see you again. Bye-bye. Welcome to the second half. Same square, but what I've done is I've changed the starting point so that you end up here on the corner, so you don't end up in the middle here so it looks terrible. So without further ado, let's begin that. So I'm just going to use gray using Caron 1 pound on camera today with a 5mm size H crochet hook. So you're going to begin and you'll chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch to the beginning to form the center ring. We're going to go on to round number 1 next. Round number 1, chain 1 won't count as anything, and I want you to slam in 12 double crochets into that center hole. So we'll count these together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And even as a seasoned crocheter, I will always count the first round and make sure that I did get it. So count the tops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So go and slip stitch to the 12th one. And if you went over the straggler like I did, then just turn it over and just trim that out. And we're moving on to round number 2 next. Round number 2. You're going to chain 1, won't count as anything. In the same one of the join, we're going to be doing these little popcorns. And so how you'll do that is that you'll place in 3 double crochets into the same stitch. And remove the hook. Go to the first double crochet of the grouping of 3 and coming from the front to the back and put the loop back on. I'll show this to you again one more time, and then we're going to just pull that loop through to the front. This will not stay as is unless you do a chain 1 to lock it. So it's chain 1 to close, and then chain 1 will then move on to the next one. So in the next double crochet that you have, do the same thing. So start with 3 double crochet, okay, release it. Come to the first one of the group, put it back on, pull through, chain 1 to close it, and then chain 1 to do and move on to the next. Please do this all the way around. If you need the stitch counts, they're available on the pattern itself. See the video description for that link. I'm on the last one, so I just pull through, chain 1 to lock, chain 1 to move on. So I'm going to slip stitch it to the top of the first one. Make sure that you do have 12s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And so we'll slip stitch and then we'll get ready for round number 3. Round number 3, we're going to play between the spaces of the popcorns. So you're just going to slip stitch over into the space, chain 1, and put 3 single crochets into that space. So 1, 2, and 3. And then just split the next space apart and put 3 into there, and you'll do that all the way around. So please do that, and maybe at the end of this round. I'm at the end of the round, slip stitch then to the beginning single crochet. And you'll see that last round kind of opens things up beautifully. Let's move on to round number 4. Round number 4, we're at the wrong spot for starting. We need to move over just one more. So slip stitch over to the center single crochet of a group of 3. You're only going to play in the center ones of every group of 3. To start this round, you're going to chain 5. This will count as 1 double crochet and a chain 2 space. So 1, 2, 3, that's a double crochet, 4, 5 is a chain 2 space. In the same one that you did the join with, apply another double crochet, and now you have a V-stitch. To move on, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to go to the center 1 of the next grouping of 3. It's only 2 stitches away, just in case you need to know that. So double crochet into that one, chain 2, double crochet again into the same to create the V-stitch, and then you need to chain 1 before applying the next one. So jump to the next middle one, so you're just skipping 2. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then chain 1 to move on. Please do this around for round number 4. At the end of the round, I have my V-stitch, chain 1, and now I'm just going to just pull this apart and count the third one up. So 1, 2, 3, and it's third chain up to do a slip stitch before moving on to round number 5. Round number 5, I need you to slip stitch over to this chain 2 space. And right now, we want to do a half double crochet right into that space. It feels wrong, but I need you to stick with the plan. So just, I need you now to single crochet into the same space. So just grab the yarn and pull through. It feels wrong to do it this way, but then you don't end up with an extra bulk there. Okay, so now I'm going to put in 4 double crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then single crochet into that same space. So just remember, it's a single crochet, chain, or 4 double crochet and a single. Okay, and now we're going to go here. Okay, so the next one is single crochet, 4 double crochet, and then a single crochet. So do that in every one of the chain spaces, or chain 2 spaces that you have, and they will look really good at the end of each of these V-stitches that you'll see. Please do this around for round number 5. I'm all the way around. I'm going to carefully slip stitch to the first single crochet. We're going to start off the next round really carefully, and it's different from the other pattern that we have at the beginning of this tutorial. Let's begin that. We need to get ourselves to the 2 middle ones of each one of these petals, but right where we're sitting is the wrong spot. I don't want you to cut the yarn. Simply turn over the petal like this, and just somewhere, just go in to a piece of the strand, any strand, as long as you don't see it through here, and just pull through and through, just like that. This will get your hook to be behind the work. Starting in the 2 middle that you have right here, you are going to apply 1 single crochet in each. And now you're going to chain a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So just look for the 2 middle double crochets of each of the petals, put a single crochet each, and then chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and look for the next petal, the 2 middle. Please do this around for round number 6. Finishing up this round, I'm chaining 4, and I'm just going to slip stitch to the beginning single crochet. Now let's move on to round number 7, which is probably the hardest round of them all. Round number 7, chain 1 first, and what we need to do is a double crochet treble together. We're going to go into this space right here. So let me just get my pencil. You're going to go and use this whole space, and we're going to use this whole space so it creates a line over top. So to do that, you're going to wrap the hook twice and go right into the space. And it takes a little bit of practice. So if you're struggling first time, it's not you, it's the pattern. So just pull through, and now just pull through 2 and 2. And I'll show this to you again one more time. So then we get that one. Do not finish it, so don't pull through the final 2. Wrap the hook twice and go into this space right here. So all of it. The first time that you do it, it's always a pain because you're starting a round. So you pull through 2 and 2. Once you have the 3 loops left on the hook, pull through all 3, and that's a 2 together treble, and it will create the texture. The next chain 4 space that you see right behind it, you're going to apply 7 single crochets there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And so now we want to do this again. So we wrap the hook twice and we come right into this whole space area. Pull through 2 and 2 and hold it. Do not finish it. Come over to this space right here. Wrap twice and in. Pull through 2 and 2 and hold it. And once you have all 3, pull through all 3. And then the chain working behind is 7 single crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So please do this all the way around. I'll show you how to finish this round in a moment. When you come around, you're going to start doing your treble, and then you're going to do the other one, and it's going to match into this other one that's already there. Okay, so just extending over. Okay, so then that completes the look, and then you'll have the rest of your 7 to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you're going to slip stitch to the beginning, treble 2 together, and that's what that will be. Let's move on to round number 8. Round number 8 is the last time we're going to be going in a complete circle, and then we're going to be transitioning to a square after that. Right where you're sitting, you're going to chain 1, and you are going to apply a front post double crochet around the treble, the 2 together. So just go around, make sure you grab both of the posts, pull through 2 and 2. So you're going to skip the first one out and go to the second, and you're going to apply 1 double crochet in that one and the one after that. The third one is going to be 3 double crochet. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And then just how we had 2 before this one, we're going to have 2 by themselves after. And this means that you're going to have 1 untouched stitch here, and you're just going to apply a front post double crochet around the treble. So just going in behind both of those posts and do the front post treble. You're going to skip the first one out, so just pull it back if you don't see it, and then just double crochet the next 2 in a row. The next one is the third one. It's the middle. You'll have to have 3 double crochets in that one. And then the next 2 are 1 double crochet by itself. I need you to repeat this around for round number 8. It's really quite a simple round, and do that and I'll see you at the end of the round. So the last 2 went in there. You're skipping the last one. You've already done your front post double crochet, so slip stitch, and then this is good to go. So you can see it's really quite lovely, and let's begin then round number 9, converting to a square. When we convert to a square, we're going to be placed, all in either a piece here or the middle one double crochet here. And so every one of those is going to get used, but they're different heights in order to get the square to happen. So we're going to be starting on an upper corner first. We're going to get big, and then we're going small and bigger, and then coming down. Let's begin this. We're going to chain a total of 6, which will count as 1 treble and a chain 2 space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a treble. 5 and 6 is a chain 2 space. So the corners are going to be chain 2s. Then you're going to treble into the same one of the join. So wrap twice, and this is your first corner. you're always going to chain 3 unless it's a corner. So 1, 2, 3. So the first one after a corner is always going to be a back post double crochet around the middle one of the petal. So this is going to make this whole thing jump out. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then this one here is always going to be a single crochet in the back post. I'll show you 2 sides in a row just to make sure you get it. So chain 3, so 1, 2, 3. Choose the middle one, double crochet of this petal. This is the halfway spot. Then you're going to chain 3. Choose this one right here in between the petals and make this as a back post single. So there's always going to be 3 back post singles in a row on a side. Chain 3, choose the middle double crochet, and this will be a back post double crochet. Chain 3, the next one is your corner. So the corners will always be in between 2 petals. So keep an eye on that. So you're going to treble first. You don't have to go on a back post, just a regular stitch. Chain 2 will turn the corner and treble into the same. And I'm going to take you through one more side. So if you're running out of stitches, chances are you're missing either a double crochet or a single crochet along the side, in case that you get there. But hopefully you've been double counting the very beginning here so that you don't end up with that problem. So to start another side, chain 3. The first one after a corner is a back post double crochet around the middle one of a petal. Chain 3. The next one is a single crochet back post around the one in between the 2 petals. Chain 3. Back post double crochet around the middle one of a petal. This is the center of a side. Chain 3. Single crochet around the one in between the petals. Chain 3, double crochet back post around the middle one of the next petal, and then you're heading directly to a corner, so chain 3 and apply your corner of 1 treble, chain 2, 1 treble, and you'll do that all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of the round in a moment. Coming around, I am doing that chain 3 after the last back post double crochet, and I want to go to the 4th chain up, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, exit right there, because there's a chain 2 space in the corner. So we're going to slip stitch that, and we're going to move on to round number 10. Round number 10, slip stitch to the corner and apply chain 3, and then 1 more double crochet into that corner. We're going to do this whole corner as we start this. So then chain 2, and then 2 more double crochet, and there's your new corner. So because it's a circle, we're still kind of just making sure we get to ourselves to a square. So the first space will be double crochet, the next one will be half, and the 2 middles will be singles, and then half, and then doubles, and then a corner. So just make sure that you get the different height stitches in order to get that square to happen. So the first space after a corner is 3 double crochet. So everything is in sets of 3 to make it easier for you. The next chain 3 space is 3 halves. So 3 half double crochet. The next 2 spaces are 3 single crochets each. And then we're going to get taller again. So the next space is be 3 halves. The next space is 3 double crochet. And then your corners here. So the corners will always be the same of 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. And I'll take you through one more side just to make sure you got it. The first space after a corner is 3 doubles. The next space after this is 3 halves. The next 2 spaces are 3 singles. Okay, the next space after that is 3 halves. The next space after that is 3 doubles. And then you're back on the corner again. So 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. Please do this around for round number 10. Finishing up round number 10, I got my 3 doubles into the last space, and I'm just going to slip stitch to the beginning, top of the beginning chain 3. So this is what it will look like. And let's begin round number 11. Round number 11, we're in the wrong spot to start, and I need you to get to this chain 2 space. So slip stitch on over. Okay, we have no more excessive counting going forward, so we're just going to chain 3 and apply a double crochet into the same corner, chain 2 and 2 double crochet into the same corner. So just apply 1 double crochet in each one of the stitches all the way across. Corners will be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Do this around for round number 11. Finishing up round number 11, you're going to go right to the end of the round, of course, and you're going to slip stitch to the beginning, the top of the beginning chain 3. We're going to get rid of this color, and even though I like my colors in the second blanket that you saw of the ombre, I prefer the outside color to be something different. And the other thing that I prefer is that whatever I use to do all the squares have the same border, which will be the next round. And so I'm going to leave this out in behind. We'll fasten that in later. And there's a method to the madness of why I'm telling you that. So grab a new color. We're going to do the final round together. So we're going to grab a new color, put it onto your hook. We're going to do an extended single crochet, and we're doing 2 extendeds, chain 2, 2 extendeds in a corner. The first one though I want to do, it says to attach chain 1 and do an extended, but it actually looks nicer if you do a standing extended single crochet. Put it onto the hook, go right into a corner. Yarn over and pull through. See the 2 loops? You're going to yarn over, pull through just 1 loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2. That's an extended single crochet. So we're going to do another extended in there. So just going in, pull through 1 loop, then pull through 2. Chain 2 to turn, and do 2 more extendeds. So in, pull through 1 loop, then through 2. And do it one more time. Now, put that straggler in behind. You're going to use the back posts only. Make sure that when you're looking at this that you don't separate any plies. So when you yarn over, you're going to do a back post, double crochet around all of them in behind, right to the next corner. And then your corners will be 2 extendeds, chain 2, 2 extendeds. So I'm just going to give you a quick tip in just a second here. So when you're going in, you want to make sure you get the entire post. It's very possible that you accidentally go in and you grab just a portion of it, just like I'm showing now, and then you don't notice that. But you'll notice it when you get around and realize that you only grabbed a portion of the post and not all of it. So make sure that when you're done aside, just take a glance back, make sure that you got all of your post collected, because it's almost impossible to fix that later. Okay, so I'll demonstrate again. So you can accidentally just grab a portion and it will just look like sin. Okay, so make sure you get the whole post. So do this around for your final round, and I'll be right back. Coming around on the final round, I'm going to worry about the tail ends in a moment. and I'm just going all the way to the end. And I'm going to just pull up. So I'm not gonna just slip stitch it here because it'll be very obvious. So I'm just gonna trim my yarn and I'm gonna pull this up. This is an extra tip, not in the pattern. So what we have is that you have this tail, and the best way to finish things off like this is to do an invisible join. So take this and go across the top of the first extended. Come through, and do you see how this is coming out of the center? Take this and push this down through the center where that one's coming out of, and pull tight. Like that. Turn it over, and just using the back, same color only, so don't go into the gray, and don't be afraid to split the plies. Okay, if you split plies, it's virtually impossible to get out. So make sure you're accurate the first time. Okay, so you're just gonna weave it through. Do not go to the other side of the work. So if I see that needle on the other side, I'm gonna reach through and triangle you. So we're gonna do that. Okay, so that's done. Now, the other one was not fastened in completely, this gray one. So we wanna secure it on this side as well. Okay, so make sure it looks good on this side. Okay. And then just secure it in behind on the same color. When you pull it, don't pull it so it changes the shape. And weaving it back and forth 3 times. And what I want you to do, if you went over the straggler like I did at the beginning of that, you can just safely trim it, but if you're not comfortable, just use your tapestry needle and just trim it down. So if you're coming on the cruise ship, because this is a Crochet Cruise community project, then I want you just to damp block them. So just give it a little bit of a squirt of water, stretch it out and let it dry. Just stack them up on top of each other if you want to after they're done drying, and then they'll be good to go, and then you'll be ready for the cruise. Everybody else, we're just gonna talk about putting these together in just a moment. This small little lapcan is only 12 squares total, so 3 by 4. So what we have here is that when you go to start attaching these, place them squares down. If you did the ombre, what I did is I laid it on the floor. I looked at where the colors are going to land because the centers were all different, unique colors because of the yarn. And what you're going to do is just do an invisible join all the way across here. Then do an invisible join all the way across here. Then turn your blanket and do your invisible join all the way across, and then etc, etc. So what you want to do is that when you do that sewing all the way across, you want to make sure that the tail is long enough that it will take you all the way across. Remember, it does like a looping like this with your needle, so you got to make sure you have enough yarn in order to get all the way across. So in the next part of this tutorial, it's going to be called as an invisible join, and what this is that when you go to do this, I don't want you to sew into a stitch like this. So we normally have 2 strands that make up a stitch. I want you to use just the one strand that is closest to the back of the square. And what you're going to do is that you're going to come up and through and go to the other one that is also on the back. Okay, so what you're doing is you're not touching the front side of these stitches. This will make it sit flat. You'll also want to use the same color of whatever this border was. Okay, if your borders were all different colors, make sure that the color is at least matching one side of the border. So for example, if there was a blue border here, don't use white to sew this together because you'll see it. So either choose the pink or the blue in order to make that happen. And so you're just going to go all the way across, and remember that you have 2 extendeds on the corners, and you also have 2 chains. So you're going to do the 2 extendeds and the 1 chain work itself when you're doing this, and then when you get the next one up, right, you're just going to put it right beside it, and then you're going to continue along in sequence in order to put them all together, and that's called an invisible join. I'll put a tutorial for that right now, and for cruisers, just leave that for the cruise ship, and everybody else have fun, and I will see you at the beginning of the next video, but I will play that other video right now. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends at yarnspirations.com. Today I'm going to introduce you to the whip stitching. It's my favorite stitching for joining things together. So people message me and they say, Michael, I hate the sewing. You know, can you just do one piece stuff? I'm like, not everything can be done with one piece. We'd like to imagine we live in make-believe, but it doesn't always happen that way. The way that I visualize sewing things together means all the hard work's already done. You were just doing the final touches. So I find the sewing gives me a lot of satisfaction because I know that most of the hard work is behind me. Even at weaving in the tails, you know, big deal. You know, throw on the television, put on some Harry Potter, you're good to go. So I've been watching the series all over again. So I'm going to show you how to do the whip stitching. We're going to join this together, and when I show you this, I'm going to show you doing it on the back loop so that it becomes an invisible join. Now I'm intentionally using different colors to show you where to go, but when you do the invisible join on things, it literally truly is virtually impossible to see it. So the thing about it is that you have to decide what you would like to do. So in this case, let's talk about that next. I need to take a breath. Welcome to my channel, and I'm here to inspire you, give you crochet advice, and help you along with your next project. If you enjoyed this pattern, please give me a thumbs up or even comment so I can gauge your interest. It helps me to know what to film next. So let's say I want to do an invisible join with these two. I need to either choose this blue as my sewing color or this pink. I have to choose one or the other. If I choose something that doesn't match, you are totally going to see it, but in tutorial purposes I'm going to show you that today. But it literally is almost impossible to see it unless you're, you know, got a critical eye and you got nothing else better to do in your life and you want to judge something. So what I would like to do is show you how to do this using this idea, and I always find that it's a lot easier to start with the strand to have a slip knot on the other side, and leave the strand long enough so that you can throw it through a tapestry needle at the end, but make sure that the strand is not so big that you're having to, you know, pull out like yards and yards of yarn. But you got to make sure that you have enough distance so that you can span something if you want to. So if you can do it in a one piece, it's great, but if you have to do it multiple pieces, maybe not so great, but you know, it's life tough. So I want you to throw this through the tapestry needle. Ooh, and I want you to work on the back loop only. Now when I do whip stitching, I like to go up on an angle just like you're seeing on camera. So I'm sitting right here, and I like to go into the back loop of the one piece that I'm joining to, like that, and I am going to go into the back loop of whatever I want to join. So I'm not going into both strands that make up a stitch because I want this to fall in between so that it becomes invisible. So I'm just gonna pull through, and what I want to do, see this loop that's coming up? I want to throw the tip of this through the loop and pick it up. This is going to lock that into position so that it will never come out. Okay. And what I like to do is that I go in the back loop of the very next stitch here, and I scoot underneath this strand and I pick up the back loop of this one. And what I'm doing is that when this crosses over, it's going to trap that strand into position. To do this without my hands in the way of your camera today is a miracle. Okay, so we got the first one. The first couple stitches is kind of a pain, but once you get beyond that, it's awesome. So go to the next back loop. Keep this so it scoots underneath. Is that a real word, scoot? You can leave me a message in the comments if that's a real word. So you're gonna come across and you're just gonna pull, and it's gonna trap that in a position. You see it's kind of loose. We're gonna tighten that up. So just give it a good tug. Now if this was either the blue or the pink, this would be almost impossible to see. So I'm going to go one more time underneath that starting strand and grab the other one, and I'm going to come over top. So you can technically see that I've carried that yarn, but if it's either the blue or the pink, it'll be hard to see that. I want you now just to take the strand and just pull it to the back side so you don't have to worry about it for the remaining. And all you just need to do is keep scooting under the back loop of both of them, and once in a while, don't go too far, give it a good tug and make it nice and fabulous. Are you into fabulous today? I'm totally into fabulous today, and I'm just going to join. So in patterns where they call for a flat stitch join, I prefer a whip stitch, so you'll see me substituting sometimes in these tutorial work as I'm going across. And once you get blasting on this, it's actually pretty easy, and the join always looks generally pretty good. So as you're working your way through, you can see that there's a bit of inconsistency. I'm tighter here than I was here. Just give it a good pull. Look. See, this is where you buried it, and you would never really see that. And just continue to match. So let me give you a few secrets just in case that you decided that you missed a stitch or one of the motifs is not the right size completely because maybe you screwed up or something. So I'm gonna teach you how to cheat the system so that you can actually have things match each other as long as it's not too wrong. So usually I'm looking ahead and will the squares match each other, yes or no? And so I'm keeping an eye, and what happens is sometimes that people skip stitches and then you can end up with one is going to be shorter than the other. So let's just say that we wanted this one and we wanted to pull it closer. Okay, I'm just doing an exaggeration on here, and I want to pull this closer. What I can do, because it's an invisible join, I come back here and let me just zoom you back in. So our goal is to bring that pink so it's going to be shorter. So when I go in here, I'm gonna go into the exact same stitch I was just in for the blue, and I'm gonna advance one more stitch over here. And what this is doing, it's putting two stitches together as one. And that's going to shorten up that pink just by one stitch. And so then I would continue to go along a few more, just like you would normally would do it. And if it's the invisible seam, you'll never see this, or virtually impossible unless you don't have a life or something. Is that mean? Yeah, I think I might be mean. So I look at it and I then examine the other one here, and I've exaggerated. So if it's still like out of alignment here, what I like to do is wait closer to about the halfway point to determine if that's really going to be out of alignment. Sometimes your mood swings can change your motifs in the tension. So if it's still too long, I will still go back into the blue that I was just in, and then I will advance one more time on the pink like that, and that will literally eliminate another stitch out here. So then that will pull it even closer to the alignment. And so because it's invisible seam, just pull it nice and tight. These extra pieces that you'll have in there, that'll be one color or the other, and it'll be really hard to tell, and it's a really neat idea. So this would be how you'd whip stitch. You're gonna go all the way across, and then when you're happy with it, just weave in your ends and just finish it off with just going back and forth a total of 3 times in the work, and that's how you would do the invisible seam.